Okay. Did y'all check that link? Have y'all seen that before?
No.
The automatone, the Evanescence, Bring Me to Life on weird, little weird instrument. This makes sense if you've seen it.
It's like a little music note with the
mouse.
It looks like Kirby.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I heard the first note in that, it sounded like someone just brought one of those. Yeah, it was so hard to find that video too.
I clicked on that video as soon as you sent it, and it played through 2 ads, and it started right when you went live. So I didn't.
You got to get YouTube Premium. Well, I should. They literally announced a price increase today, so I shouldn't have said that. They're bad.
So you're not.
So Patrick's just rich.
Yeah, premium.
Yeah. No, the price increase is only in Europe, and it actually doesn't affect us at all. But the headline is.
But the tariffs on that thing are gonna be nuts.
Price increase. Yeah.
Welcome everybody. You are here.
Nice.
If you were wondering, if you're tuning in, you see a couple new faces that maybe you recognize and maybe you don't. So real quick, before we jump into the conversation tonight, we are going to just walk around the old barn and introduce ourselves. My name's Andrew Sale. You recognize me from the show called the Master of War podcast.
Wow. The thing is, I imagine you at meetings at work, and I assume this is exactly how they go.
Every all staff. I reintroduce myself.
I'm Andrew Sale from the Mof1 podcast.
I actually do. Whenever I call people from the office when it's not like work hours, I'll call and be like, "Hey, this is Andrew from the office."
From the office.
They're like, "Yeah, no, I know you're saved in my phone." All right, I just want to make sure that you're good. Who is to my screen right?
Kreider.
Hey, that's me. My name's Sean Kreider.
Awesome. Hey, Kreider, you do a podcast, right?
Yeah, we do. My wife and I do a couple now. Actually, we just started a season 4
a couple now.
TED. Yeah, finally. Been married for 11 years, but finally a couple.
It's good to make that official.
Yeah. We just started a Ted Lasso season 4 recap podcast called Roped Back In.
So many
we
questions
are
already.
4 episodes deep into that. 3 episodes of the show and 1 primer. The last one was a doozy. We did not agree on the quality of the episode, so
And you're
that
still
was
calling
fun.
yourself a couple, so that's good.
Yeah. And sometimes we throw in a movie podcast as
Listen,
well.
we don't have to spend a lot of time here, and by not a lot of time, 15 seconds. Am I right to dislike the first episode, and should I keep going?
Yes, you're right to dislike the episode, and yes, you should keep going. Yeah. It does pull it back.
Episode 2
pulling
is
it back
significantly
slowly.
better than the first episode.
Yeah, low bar, but 3 I think improves on 2 as well. So
I
That's
think
good.
low bar is how I would describe episode 1. Great.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And then we also have another Andrew.
Yeah. Where's hey.
Hello. Hi.
Did that look as good as I thought it did?
He's over there.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Pretty good. My name is Andrew Kolb. I will likely be referred to as Kolb during the podcast, just to keep the Andrews apart. I'm an author, illustrator, game designer, dungeon master, every once in a while podcaster, but mostly the other things. And happy to talk murder and mystery tonight.
Nice. And he didn't even read the book.
He just showed up.
He's literally asking who done it.
Very confident.
Why are we here?
All right.
Do I need to
feel
throw
like-
it to somebody?
Yeah, I feel like the
Yeah.
natural progression would be
Okay, I'm
whoever's
sorry.
We
next.
really are introducing ourselves?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I'm Lauren Rubin
Yeah.
from the Mof1 podcast as well, the show that you're listening to. Illustrator, graphic designer, getting ready for Dragon Con, and that's about it. Throw it over to my right.
Let me explain. No one cares about that. Let me explain my reasoning.
That being
There
me?
I think that's what.
Yeah,
Using the inanimate.
that's how it read.
There may be people joining us from Andrew's neck of the woods or people joining
True.
us from
Okay,
Sean's neck of the woods. That's why I was
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, Patrick. This is how I do all my introductions. I'm Patrick.
Sup.
So, yeah, I like to do that, or I like to go.
This is how
"What's
your work
that?"
meetings go as well.
That's what I normally do in a work context. So.
Can I jump in with a question right away?
Yeah.
Sure.
Related to Lauren, are you doing any or making any costumes for Dragon Con?
Of course.
Ooh.
Wait, is that as much as you'll give us?
Okay.
Should you want to know what they are, or
Yeah.
You couldn't possibly want to know what they are.
Yeah.
You'd be the most natural way to respond to the question.
I don't know. Sorry, I am in Con Crunch, so my brain is scrambled. I'm doing Lionel Baratheon from Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and then I'm doing one from Starstruck Odyssey from Dimension 20.
Who are you from Starstruck Odyssey?
I'm doing Reva's psychic drone, and so I'm making a bunch of magnets to put on my clothes and that I can give away to people. So I've made that's what I was working on just before this, was finishing the Plugs But Ugly Stuff Hut magnet that I'll be able to give away.
Lauren, can you make an extra one for me, please? Please.
You got it.
Thank you.
Honestly,
It'll
the
go
Las
right on the
Vegas one
refrigerator.
is the best one. It looks like a poker chip. They all turned out really good.
Okay,
But I just
serious?
love the wordplay of Pugs But Ugly Stuff Hut. I love that so much. It's so good.
It's one after looking at those words for so long, that just is really funny how many U's are in there.
I feel my opportunity. Okay,
Yeah.
serious question, and I think I know the answer. Thank you for looking at me, Sean, and acknowledging that I'm talking. Do you ever get listen, the fact that both of you were just like this on that graphic was so funny to me. It was so funny to me. Do you ever get concerned about picking an outfit that's a costume, not outfit, I'm so sorry, that's too popular?
Okay. Yes. But you also don't want to go too obscure.
So this year, you definitely don't want to go as Princess Donut or Carl.
I do
'Cause
think
that's
that's
what
going to be very
everyone's gonna
popular.
be.
I did want to do
Huge.
Patricia from Widow's Bay, which I assume will be very popular, but I ran out of time.
Yeah. There's going to be
But you had
so
qualms?
many people in boxers.
Well, I didn't have any qualms.
Okay.
I did make some buttons and ribbons for Widow's Bay though, so I'll have
Oh, neat.
something. Yeah.
Okay, everybody, let's jump in. We had a lot to talk about tonight. This is a one-stop shop. We're doing a full book discussion of Anthony Horowitz' mystery classic, the beginning of a trilogy, The Magpie Murders. And
I was
so,
confident you had forgot the title just then.
yeah,
I thought you were
was just gonna keep-
vamping.
I was
It's bad.
and everybody loves a good murder mystery. Let's just talk about murder mysteries for a minute while I do nothing on my computer over here.
Webster's
no.
Dictionary defines murder as
Mystery is.
the fusing of two metals. All right, so yeah, we're talking about Magpie Murders tonight in a full book discussion. So if you've not read the book and you don't want spoilers, see you later. I mean, come back and watch this when it's a replay. Don't watch it now. But if you have read the book, this is going to be a full spoiler episode.
Full
We're going to talk about
spoilers.
all
We're
the
going to tell you
things.
who gets murdered, who by
Yeah.
who, everything. Colonel Mustard in the library with a wrench, everything.
You read a different book because Colonel Mustard
I
was
know.
not in this book. He's in the second. You read the second book.
This
of
is the
of
non-spoiler version, so.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this was your opportunity to get out now. I'm going to do a quick synopsis that is a little bit more full breadth than the one that we gave in the initial episode, because that one was a spoiler-free episode. None of us had read the book yet. This is going to have a little bit more meat to it, so I'm just going to read through this synopsis, and then we'll jump into some questions, and then hopefully just some fun discussion and thoughts about the book. Anthony Horowitz' Magpie Murders is essentially two complete murder mysteries nested inside one another. A classic 1950s English whodunit featuring fictional detective Atticus Punt, and a contemporary mystery involving the author who created him. And I think that's kind of where we can leave the synopsis. I want to read a couple of other things, or just kind of set everybody up for things. The first mystery is the murder at Pie Hall. And this is now the basically the story that that Atticus Punt, this is the fictional character that is the detective. This is the story of him going through. This is basically the book within the book. And this is based this is the culmination of a 9-book series from author Alan Conway. He's who the book is about, essentially. And Susan Ryland, who is his book editor, who gets sent on this kind of I don't know, this extravaganza when Alan delivers the final manuscript for this final book in this 9-book series. He mysteriously goes. He doesn't go missing. He dies, and
mysteriously.
mysteriously dies, and she has to find the final chapter of this book because it gives you the entire book up to the last chapter, and so you never find out who done it. And she believes that in so doing, she will find the answer to who may have had something to do with the author's death. So that's the quick synopsis about the book. So before we jump in to, I don't want to just ask the question of well, first of all, here's a real basic question for book club.
This is one you don't want to ask, or you are asking?
No, I am going to ask
We're
this
about
one.
to find out.
Typically, people say hey, what'd you think about the book? We're not going to ask
Okay.
a general question like that.
No.
I am going to ask, this is a very specific question. Did everybody finish the book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
That's not always a given. That's
Who
not
are you
always a given.
suspicious of?
I was playing it up for drama. I finished it
was like-
4 days ago.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought that when
I
we
finished
talked
it
yesterday.
you were- okay. All right. So
I finished it months ago in
Yeah, so-
preparation for this. so
Yeah, so very nice.
It was a really high level of this.
I had already sent, not Mackenzie, I'd already sent Lauren and Patrick my recommendation for this season of the book club. And this was my recommendation. And then within days, I saw you post that you had read this book, and I was like, oh, I hope they get on board with this book, because then we could talk to Kolb and see what his thoughts were. So I'm super glad that all worked out.
I will also gladly read a book for the show as well. I don't have to have all.
We can start
We'll
fresh
see.
next time.
Yeah, we'll see how big your commitment is.
Absolutely.
So here's the question that I want to start with, and this is maybe a not so traditional question. Who is the smartest person in this book?
I'm so disappointed
great
you didn't ask us
question.
if we liked the book. After all that build-up,
Yeah. So here's a
So
weird one.
what did you guys think about this book?
the smartest person?
Who do you think the smartest?
You can just
person
inject
is
how
in
you
this
felt about it, Patrick.
In
Wait,
this
but
book
should
that
we-
I hated.
Do I have to pick from the real character, the fictional real characters, or the fictional
I'm not going to put
characters?
guardrails on. I just want to know who you
I
think
think
the
everyone's
smartest
fictional,
person
so
is.
you can go
I don't know how
wherever
to
you
think
want.
about
Yeah, I
it.
guess this isn't this isn't a biopic. Yeah, everyone's fictional. Yeah,
Why
the
can't you
characters
set
within
these
the book. Were
questions
the,
ahead of time?
I'm gonna be
I would've
bad
loved
because
to
I
have
can't
sent
remember
these
any of the
questions
characters' names.
Yeah, I mean,
I can give you some
kind of the
like,
obvious answer would be Pund, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I mean,
he
he's
is
Sherlock
set up
Holmes,
to be
yeah.
Sherlock.
Sure.
He's just such an
Lock.
ass to his assistant. But
Yeah.
well, I'll follow back up on that. Yeah, I mean, who? Everybody was getting got by everybody. I think everybody was made to kind of be a fool at one point or another.
It was so twisty. It was so
Except
twisty.
for Punt, maybe. But he's also written to be made on purpose to be the one who knows everything.
Yeah.
And I
it's kind
think
of cheating.
I think you said the kind of the operative word that was going on in my head, because I was
Oh.
having the same debate of
I'll take it back.
who's the smart. Yeah, you don't want to agree with me.
No.
is-
I just realized who really is the smartest person then
Yeah,
would be
the guy
Alan
who
Conway.
authored,
The original
authored
author.
the smartest
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
has to be
Because he's the one who created the whole fiction and was, indirectly smart enough to leave a clue after he died.
yeah, a pre-post-mortem clue, a post-mortem clue.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Cole, was that going to be your answer?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I originally went and really tried to find the loophole in your question to go, is Susan the smartest? But I think maybe she's more the wisest if we're going to D&D stats. So I think she's probably the
yeah.
wisest of the characters. But I think intelligence I would go for Conway, just based on all the. I mean, in theory, if he's written all these books and then also done these extra layer, as we'll get into, of the meta level of the books, I think that puts him at the top for me.
While simultaneously hating it?
Yeah.
So that's why I would kind of push back a little bit on Conway, because he's not smart enough to figure out his own happiness to a certain extent.
That's
You
a
know,
that's
like-
a totally different problem
Holy-
than your intelligence. I feel like
Yeah.
men would
know,
rather write 9 mystery novels than go to
Go to
therapy.
therapy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You took this to an existential level.
Yeah.
So you think
can
that
I say?
because
I don't-
you think that because he couldn't actually get the career he wanted, right? Because that's the big thing. He's trapped in something he's successful but doesn't want to do. Because he couldn't convert that to what he wanted, that would mean that he was also kind of the fool.
I think he is in a way. but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
like you're saying.
or just not see that, what he's doing is, beneficial in some way, and, I just don't. He left a really bad taste in my mouth with the whole like radio interview thing and the, anagram of Atticus Pund. Just kind of just being so I don't know.
He definitely seems
elitist.
like an annoying dude. Like,
Yeah.
like
I guarantee you, and it's one of my questions to ask tonight. But instead of asking a question, I'll make a statement.
Yeah.
I can just picture that when Andrew read what Atticus Punt meant, that he just got up and cheered, just like excitedly. I'm talking about Sale, not Kolb, to be clear. But I just feel like you would have been so jazzed about that outcome.
What's so funny to me is I remember distinctly where I was when I got to that part in the book, and I remember thinking I should have thought that he would do something like this, and then I simultaneously felt let down with the actual anagram. What was it again?
Well, it ends
Sean?
in the C word.
I know
Stupid
that
C
yes.
word.
Oh, yeah, isn't that what it is? Like stupid.
Yeah, stupid C word. Which I didn't know had an umlaut.
I didn't either.
I was gonna pronounce it, but it's fine.
I didn't
It's
read
funny because
the
I listened to
book,
this
so
on
I didn't know
audiobook.
it.
Didn't catch that.
Yeah, I would have missed the umlaut in all of
Yeah.
this.
I remember thinking it felt like a cheap shot. I liked the idea of it being an anagram because it felt like in line with the rest of like the cleverness of the book, but the actual payoff of it felt like it was low hanging fruit. So I wasn't actually super stoked about.
Finding
But does
out,
that feel right for the character? Like that feels right for Alan Conway. Like that feels
Yeah.
like his
not
little
to
kind of
disparage
stupid
Anthony
joke on the whole
Horowitz's
thing. Yeah.
writing. I feel like it was true to character in that. Like
Sure.
I wouldn't expect Conway to do something really elegant at that phase of
yeah,
his
but
career.
that's a good point. But as like a point of interest, I found like all the main characters' names being birds, for instance, far more like entertaining to be told as opposed to that. But I see what you're saying. That does fit. I mean, yeah, Conway's an ass, right? Like it fits.
Yeah, he doesn't
really
seem
well.
like a nice person. Yeah.
Yeah,
with
it's like
him.
Dr. House, kind of.
Yeah.
That's the way I read him.
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, I
that's
think
a good.
that's good comp.
But like, if Dr. House didn't want to be a doctor, which actually I'm not convinced he wanted to be because
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I think that it really fits well. Yeah.
he just wanted to be in prison and no one would arrest him.
So I think it's interesting to try to break this down because we've already talked about the meta levels of this, but there's even kind of an additional, like a more ethereal meta level that you just said, Kolb, when you brought up the idea that Anthony Horowitz wrote Conway true to form when he did that, and that it all kind of matched with that. I didn't really even think about the fact that this is an author writing a book about an author writing a book about.
It's an author writing an
Yeah.
author writing a book.
Yes, exactly. And to put
Matryoshka.
yourself at no point did I think that it was poor writing. It wasn't disparaging of Anthony Horowitz when he says that, when it reveals that it's, it means this anagram. But I was upset with Conway for having such a low-hanging fruit. And so it's just interesting to have to keep in mind that this is an author writing in the mind of another author who's then writing a book inside of the book that he's writing. So Horowitz is the smartest. That's the full answer. Is the Horowitz is
Right, if we
real
go to the
answer.
highest level, yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
it goes
highest
to the
level.
root. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which was the harder murder to solve? Because there are two murders, right? Well, there's technically three. there's technically 3 murders to solve. But the first murder being like the main murder is Magnus Pie. That whole storyline, right? So it was Mary, Blankenshire, Blankington. I can't remember her last name.
Blakiston.
Blakiston.
Yeah.
She's one murder, and then the other murder is Alan. Which of those two was the harder one to solve?
Well, she was murdered.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't murdered. She died by accident.
Murdered.
Magnus was the
Right,
person
but
who was
my
murdered.
point is,
Yeah.
my point is, she wasn't the murderer. So
Yeah.
that's what is that? Were you asking about the murderer or the murdered? Because she's the one that was at the bottom of the stairs, right?
Yeah,
She
I
was
know.
the
I'm
housekeeper.
saying which murder was harder to solve.
Oh, just between those
case,
two.
and it obviously unfolded as it went. But those are like the two. Those are the two stated kind of murders that are being investigated at the beginning. It obviously expands into all these other avenues and these other things. But which of those two cases were the easier or harder ones?
I
to
see,
solve?
but technically, it's the Sir Magnus Pie murder that actually kicks off.
You
the
could technically
investigation.
count all 3 because, you have to figure out that she died by accident.
So,
Everyone's
okay,
assuming she was murdered.
This
the
is
whole
really
time.
dumb, but just I literally finished this book 4 days ago. Okay, so the first one was the 2 people to be married. It was the soon-to-be husband is who murdered Magnus Pie, correct?
Right.
Her
And then
son.
It was her
Blakiston,
son.
right? And then Blakiston
Yeah.
wasn't murdered. She just really did.
Correct.
Yes,
And
she
then for
tripped
the-
over. She tripped over the
vacuum
cord,
cable, right?
Hoover
the
Yeah.
vacuum cord,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
she
was
had
gonna say
to
the
run
Hoover.
downstairs to answer the phone because the phone upstairs was not working.
And the second one, the murderer, was Charles Clover. He was
That's
the
the-
one that killed
he's-
Conway.
He killed
Yeah.
The
Conway.
editor in chief
Yeah.
or the publishing, the guy in charge of the publishing.
I'll be honest, I didn't figure out anything about any of these. So in terms
Yeah, I
of which
didn't
one is more
figure
them
difficult,
out.
I don't know because I
So you weren't trying to solve it.
I mean,
I'll say
Yeah.
I found the second one, the real life murder of Alan, easier to follow, or like more interesting, I guess. Like I was way more locked in on that part than the in book one. Like I was way more interested once that part started.
Like on a higher level, how does everyone read murder mysteries? Like, do you read trying
Left
to
to
solve
right.
it, or do you?
In America, we read left to right.
Right. Well, in Canada,
Yeah.
being serious, like I listened. I did not read.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I assumed that because I was not reading, it would be more difficult for me to pick up on clues. And so there was a bit of me that just told myself, hey, you're not going to figure it out, so just don't worry about it.
Just go for the ride.
Just listen to it. And so I chose to actively not solve it. All I did is in the first, 3 chapters when we had kind of met everybody, I just decided, that's the pastor's wife. And then I was just like, it was like betting on a horse early and just seeing. But that was it,
Yeah, I historically overanalyze things to a fault, to the point where I will miss obvious things because I'm like, it can't be that obvious. Even if there's nothing to solve, I'm always trying to solve whatever the problem is. And so with this book, you could just imagine. I mean, everybody was my number one suspect at one.
You had
point
like
or
a full red string wall.
I basically had yeah.
Yeah.
If I left to my druthers, I would have a whole dossier of every character with red strings around everything, and I wouldn't be showering for 3 weeks, and I would just look unkempt and be smelly because I'm just trying to figure this
Charlie
thing out.
Day.
Yes, like Charlie Day,
Little
the
Pepe Sylvia.
Conspiracy theorist. That's how I read these stories. Called
Yeah.
one of the things I really enjoyed about the book was because of ending before the final chapter and then getting into Susan's mindset really gave you a bit of time to get a high level, but also for Horowitz to be able to write almost like a stream of consciousness.
recap.
Yeah, exactly. A recap of like, oh, I'm thinking it might be this character, but then these are the reasons why it might not be. And then traditionally, and almost a deconstruction within the book of how you approach solving these murders. I'd be curious to now go back and read some of my other books with that framing, knowing some of the tropes and going through some of what Horowitz writes down when you're approaching these other texts.
When you think about the classic, just based on what you were saying, when you think about the classic arc of a horror, or I'm sorry, a murder mystery novel story, it all kind of unfolds in that last 10%. And they do all the like the recap and the thought process, but it all happens in this like really, really truncated point. This gave us the opportunity to, like you said, it expanded that last 10% of the story for more than half of the book, which gave it ample time to really give you like, okay, I don't think it's this person anymore because of this, which I would have missed.
I
if
stopped
it was
thinking
all,
about it in that part.
You stopped thinking about it?
Pretty much. I was like, who cares? There's a real person who's dead. You know, like.
I was the exact opposite. I was like, I don't care about this guy. Get back to the book, because I was really invested in the book, within the book. And then I was like, well, now I got to learn a whole other cast of characters and figure out who killed this guy who I don't even like. And now, like, yeah.
You just kept saying, I'm glad he's dead.
I did think it was funny that it's mentioned at least 3 times that people are like, how much they disliked Alan was like a reason to stop looking into the murder. Like, he's a jerk anyway. Who even cares?
Yeah, that was
I was like, I don't think that counts.
Almost like a good, like, you know, it's he got what he deserved. It's fine. Like, but that doesn't. That's not how it works, really, though, right? Like, that's not really how it comes together.
And these are like the people that he was pretty close with.
Yeah.
In fairness, I actually did respond more the way Kreider responded, which is I don't want to say I checked out, but I was definitely less interested when I realized, I'm going to have to wait for this payoff now.
I kind of assumed we might not even get the ending. Like
same.
at a certain
I really
point.
thought
I would have been so angry.
No.
I figured like they would have someone write an ending, and I thought it was going to be like Susan would write the ending,
Susan
basically
would have to
at
figure
the
it
end.
out,
Yeah. But
what
not at all where
was-
this went.
So I'm genuine that I caught nothing. I mean, I was a terrible detective. For people here that did catch stuff, what was your favorite detail you caught?
That's a good question. I know mine.
I don't think I have. Yeah.
I'm not sure I caught much, to be
My
honest.
favorite detail that I'm so proud of, was the phone not working upstairs. I clocked that and it stayed with me. I'm like, that's gonna come back. That's gonna be a thing. That's gonna be a thing. And then when her son's story was coming out, like in the final reveal of that, when her son's story was coming out, and it became clear that he did not kill his mom, I immediately thought, I bet she was just going to try to answer the phone. Like, I bet that's what was happening. And so when that revealed, I felt like such a champion. And just to find out that it ultimately she wasn't murdered and it was an accident, and it was something that was so early in the book. They mentioned it so early.
You caught the detail that was not involved with any of the murders.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, it sort of was. Yeah. In the sense that it proved one wasn't a murder, but yeah.
I caught a detail that was important. I also caught that something wasn't right about the way that the brother had died. Her older son had died. I clocked that there was something weird there. I couldn't quite put my foot on what it was because they didn't.
I thought the dog was suspicious as well.
The dog? You thought the dog was suspicious?
Well, that they both died like in
did
the
it.
same place. I couldn't quite put my finger on what was weird about that. I'm like, this just something's going on there.
Yeah, I didn't clock that it was the son, but I did like those two beats. I didn't get really anything with the real story, like with Alan Conway's thing. I was riding the train with you and with the book as they were saying it, because every new character they introduced that had something that they could do, I'm like, oh, well, it was that character. Oh, it's the neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's this guy. Like I was along for the ride the whole time with that one, but
I thought it could have been her boyfriend for a little while. That was way off.
I was kind of hoping it was, to be honest.
I thought it was more like an interesting twist, because like they said like he'd been there like the day before or something like that, and there was something that this was again like a clue that didn't mean anything, but they said something about like she was saying that she told him all the clues that she'd found about Alan's murder, and then said, and I saw no reason not to tell him this. I'm like, That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah,
That
that's
didn't mean
what I
anything,
love about what are it, fair play murder mysteries, and it's something that you brought up in the session 0 for this book, is that all the details are all there, and that almost everything like really means something, and I like that so much more than some other ones that it's like he had a twin brother that we didn't tell you about for 48 chapters, and that's who killed him, and you're just like, oh, that's so unearned.
That's not
you
fun.
know?
The prestige.
Yeah. So I sat there. Spoilers for a 16-year-old movie?
Yeah,
I was like, that's not
20-year-old
quite
movie?
right either.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sat there with the book for like a good like 10 minutes, like looking at when they wrote out all the titles and figured out it was an anagram. I'm like, okay, if you add these letters together and then this and then that, it's like I had my own little string
You
theory
went
game,
beautiful
but-
mind. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was also yesterday at like 6 p.m. So I was like, all right, at some point I just got to finish this book.
So so you're the freshest in this because you just
Yeah, but
finished
don't think that
I was
means that I
Saturday, so I'm
remember
right
things.
behind you.
Is there a red herring? But there were a lot of red herrings, even though it was fair play.
yeah.
That doesn't mean that everything that was given was useful, which we talked about in session 0 with that escape room that we went to, where we tried for almost the entire hour to get into this safe, and the safe turns out it was just already in the building when they opened the escape room, and they just kept it. So there
I
are
think
things
that-
don't actually play into anything. What were some of the biggest ones that threw you?
I was just gonna say, like, I think in general it was very hard to solve the in-book mystery, the like Magpie murders mystery, because like making the leap in logic to like this guy is a maniac, it was a big one to me.
I think,
Really?
oh.
Yeah, I didn't
you
really
wanna
feel like
respond-
that.
do you
I
wanna
felt like it
respond to
kind of
that
came out of
first?
nowhere.
No. Go ahead, Patrick.
I realized that this is the horse I bet on, but I don't know. It's not really a red herring, but the pastor's wife having the rash. I say rash. She got the stuff on her foot. She had to go get the cream or medicine or whatever to help with that. I mean, I was convinced the entire time that that's how she got the poison, and she did it, and I rode that train for a long time.
And I assumed she had taken the pastor's bike while he was out on, and that was who she had ridden the bike there, and that's why people thought that
Because no one saw him, they just heard the bell. They just heard the bell, the bike. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, they heard the bike
Ring,
ride by.
ring. I don't think it was that
Bro,
bad.
is that a real bike? That's you should record audiobooks.
Thank you.
Immersive experience. I think
Get all the
yeah, I
Foley.
agree. I thought that was going to lead us to the bike. I thought was going to be a pretty big component to it. Turns out
kind
that was
of
a red
was.
herring because it
Well,
wasn't
yeah, I
really.
mean a little bit.
The way
I
they
mean,
set
but
it up, at
the son did take the bike, but it didn't matter that much.
the way that it was set up in my mind, I thought it was going to be the thing that Atticus was able to come in and be like, this is the thing that solved it all, and it had nothing to do with that.
Just the access to the typewriter. The typewriter felt like, oh, that has to be an incredible, like the typed message and the typewriter that only
Yeah.
like 2 people have access to or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like, oh, that has to be like the linchpin. Like you can't escape that, and then not related.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
It's tricky
It was
'cause it
already in
feels
the
like-
building when they moved in.
Well, I think the clues that are really driven home, I feel like the more I see it in the book, the less the more I try to ignore it as, oh, they're really trying to sell me that the bike is
Yeah.
important. So I'm going to really try to avoid thinking about the bike when I'm figuring this out.
Yeah, but
feel
then
like
I
I
go,
didn't
they
really
know I'm
see
gonna
it.
not
No,
think
they're
about
not.
it.
Yeah. But you don't know what I think you think I know.
I just didn't find the pastor or his wife that suspicious because their motive wasn't there. Like, other than like she's kind of annoying to them, but in a
Unhappiness.
helpful way. I'm like, that seems like a really again a stretch of why you would kill someone.
Listen, I've worked at a church. The motive is there.
Yeah.
Like,
said
again,
it-
she
Work
seemed
with
kind of
people all
annoying,
day, every
but you
day.
still got to
The
solve her
motive is there.
murder.
Work with
Lauren,
church
to your
people
point.
all day, every day.
To Lauren's point of like, it wouldn't have been interesting for it to just be, I forget what suspect you said, but I think that's how I tend to read these mysteries is with the mindset of, who is the most interesting reveal when it's revealed, because I find some of the older like Agatha Christie books don't lean into that. It really is just, oh, here was this little hint of a clue, and that's who it is, and then you realize, oh, it's the person that they shone the least amount of spotlight on. But I feel like now, going back to the Knives Out series, I feel like now it really leans into like, oh, you want to have as much time with the, not villain, but the
like
murderer
ensemble
as possible. So let's spend more time writing about our hero with the antagonist, so that way we get more interaction. Which is why I was also thinking it was either the boyfriend or the editor in the real world murder, because I'm like, oh yeah, Susan has to spend time with the actual person, so it's going to be one of these. It has to be one of these two.
Yeah.
But I at no point had really pegged.
I felt like
this or that.
Yeah, Alan's boyfriend seemed very suspicious, but I'm like, this is too obvious, like that it would be this guy. Like, you know, like if he committed the murder, everyone would be pointing their finger at him. You know, like it'd be terrible, like choice on his part.
That is
He also just didn't seem capable.
Well, that's the only example of someone I said they're going in too hard on this guy. Like,
meanwhile, that's
trying
the
to make
exact
fetch
thinking
happen.
that I was thinking. Oh, they want us to think it's not him, because it's so obvious that then it becomes a good reveal again. So it just always, especially at a contemporary level, enough people are thinking about this on that level that you have to be able to bait and switch.
It's funny because I realized reading this book that I've never actually read a murder mystery book before. Like I've watched movies and shows and stuff, but this is really the first time I've read a book. And I wish I could have actually read it and not audiobooked it. It was just a time thing where it was like a lot faster to audiobook it. And like I think if I'd been reading it, I probably would have like written down like things that I was like thinking about or like marked clues or whatever. But yeah, it was. I feel like I both like was and wasn't falling for tropes, because like I don't know how it works exactly this way, but I was also like, well, I've seen this movie before. Like,
Well, I want to give, if it's okay, I have some feedback from someone that I know that read the book. They're not able to watch tonight, so I will share their feedback.
Okay.
Now, I asked the question that apparently I learned at the beginning of this we're not supposed to ask, which is if you like the book. So I apologize immediately, but that is the question.
I didn't say you're not supposed to ask it.
I didn't say
we're
you
not
said
going to
it.
ask the question.
I did not say that you
everyone.
said it. So the response was, I didn't love it, mildly entertained, but it was like 150 pages too long. The whodunit within a whodunit was interesting, but also its pitfall because it created the link.
Outstays its welcome, sort of thing.
I think that's
Yes.
fair.
I think that's a fair critique, especially given that is kind of the whole thing of the book, right? And
Right, so if you don't connect with that, then
you're not going to like it. So that leads me to a question though that I had of, if Atticus Pound, if that were a real mystery series, if you actually had access to all 9 of those books, would you read it? Did this book capture you enough to read the Atticus Pound mystery series?
yeah. I mean,
Totally
it's a simple yes.
Okay. All right. And Lauren says no. That's fine. We've learned that Lauren doesn't love murder mysteries.
No, I am curious, Lauren. Why wouldn't you? Or what was it?
I
about
really didn't
the
get into that part
interior?
at all. I can't tell you. Like, I just wasn't as interested in the book when it was during that part, and I got way more locked in the second half. So, like, just based on that, I don't think it would be my cup of tea. Would I probably read one and then not read the rest, or watch all the movie versions? Yes.
I have a question about that. But you go ahead, Colb, and I have a follow-up.
Oh, I was going to ask Lauren if do you think it's the setting, or do you think because in the world of the book it was fictional and so it felt like it wasn't as
Too removed.
real?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
'Cause
I don't
would-
think I
would
have any
say-
problem with the setting, because I've watched, like movies and stuff like this, and I think
Okay.
it's interesting. I haven't read a lot of books like this, like I mentioned, but like I don't think like have an inherent problem with that. I just wasn't just clocking my own interest. Like I really was not as locked in the first half.
I
And
would be
I don't.
curious if you read, because I read so much Agatha Christie, it really captured that spirit of her stronger book. So I'd be curious if you checked out an actual Christie mystery, if it connected in a different way, because it was just that core
Yeah, like
mystery
this
at its
hits
base.
the chord that you were like
Yeah,
wanting there.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Did,
totally get that. Yeah.
For Patrick and Lauren, did you guys catch the fact that Our first book of the Mof1 book club was pre-World War II, and this book was post-World War II. Like,
Yeah, we'll
No.
just keep going chronologically.
yeah, it's basically a
We
decade
can't get to any
after
sci-fi books for a while.
this book took place, at least the story within the story, took place basically 10 years after the
That's funny.
story of
Cavalier and Clay.
Cavalier and Clay. Yeah, like that was as soon as they gave me the time
The
setting,
year,
I was
yeah.
like, oh gosh. Okay.
The only thing that stood out to me is from reading The Buffalo Hunter, the amount of times that pastor is eating throughout the book,
Yes.
and the fact that the pastor in this story, every time it talks about him, he's like at the breakfast
like,
table or something. He's just eating
chowing
something. and I chuckled because it's like, oh, I guess
must
this
have
is a
grown up-
trope with pastors. They just eat
Both authors must have grown up in the Baptist church. That's
Yeah.
all that I can say. About that.
this fat
There's
ass.
a lot of.
Or they just imagine him being played by Brad Pitt,
Oh, always eating, exactly.
constantly eating.
Is Brad Pitt always eating? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah.
I'm now
It's a
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about how in
noticed this.
every film he has a scene where he eats during
Almost.
Oh, okay.
Like all but the heist scenes in Ocean's 11, I'm pretty sure he's eating something, whether it's
So
like
he
nachos
eats
or a lollipop.
on
or...
screen 100% more times than Guy Fieri does, right? You guys have seen those videos, right, where he doesn't
It's
actually
very funny,
swallow the
yeah,
food?
yeah.
Have you seen these things?
Oh, no.
No.
I've seen
Oh,
this like
it's a-
conspiracy. Yeah, the guy
It's a
Fieri
real
doesn't eat the
conspiracy.
food. Yeah, yeah.
And there's a guy who has gone deep in the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
of
it's pretty funny.
he doesn't actually swallow the food. He doesn't even actually a lot of times even take bites of the food. And it's when he's chewing, it's in like he puts his tongue in his mouth to give the effect of him. You guys need to watch this. This may be more intriguing than the murder mystery of this book.
Yeah.
As you're talking about it, Lauren is
It's a very
tuning out
like
completely.
fun
It just-
conspiracy.
It's a wild, like why it would even matter. It doesn't. I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
'cause he's an imposter of Flavortown. It's stolen valor, maybe.
The false mayor of Flavortown. We must depose him once.
But it's a. Like,
I
it's
call for a
real-
vote of no confidence in Guy Fieri.
Exactly. This man is not in charge of my taste buds.
What was the author's? I'm sorry, the editor's name again. What was her name?
Susan.
Susan.
Susan. I will say that I did like her character, even though I do agree. I actually found the original story more compelling in terms of the one that I wanted to know the ending. But I appreciated the narration that she brought, and I also appreciated this idea of kind of she's obviously solving the clues, but she's also solving as an editor. And so like there's like superpowers she has because she's an editor that like other people don't have, and there was enough of a twist on that I really enjoyed what she brought, even if ultimately I didn't love that whole cast of characters.
Sure. So I think that's a good point. When you have some of these detective stories, right, with Agatha Christie, when she writes her characters, when you look at like Angela Lansbury as Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote, or even Sherlock Holmes, right? Columbo, yes.
One more thing.
Just one more thing.
It's like
Yeah.
Charlie from Poker
They
Face.
all kind of have their thing
Yeah.
that kind of gives them their superpowers, right? That gives them their like with Sherlock Holmes, it's the power of observation, like astute, quick observation. But with her, what really gave her the anchoring to be able to solve this mystery is her deep knowledge of Alan Conway as an author. Did you guys think about that at all? Did you guys contemplate how she was able to do this at all? Were you I was impressed with the kind of non-traditional detective work that was being done through kind of the literary text. Did you guys think about that idea
Well,
at
it
all?
definitely created a situation for me of like who else could have solved it but her.
Right. Especially as someone who in this fiction isn't a professional investigator or
Right.
someone who has the experience to solve a crime. So what does she bring then that is unique to be able to approach this problem? And the fact that it relies on, like you're saying, Andrew, relies on her being an editor, that is her superpower in this. I think adds an interesting twist to, I think, like the classics where it is just, a catalog of knowledge. The fact that she's bringing a different, maybe doesn't know all these different blood spatter types, but can pick out the changes in the text to be able to point to a solution was really
like the
interesting.
attention to detail is kind of what solved the murder.
I'm assuming no one has read any of the, I haven't read the sequels yet, but I'm curious how much of this structure and how, like, what carries on without spoiling anything. But
Andrew, you've read 2 more, haven't you, or 1 more?
I read the second one.
Okay.
Oh wow!
And I was gonna kind of end with that, but we can talk about it now. It doesn't change much.
Sure.
Does it follow Susan? Like, does Susan continue?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
It picks up a couple months later. So this book ends with her moving with her boyfriend to Greece to open a hotel.
Can I just say, I got worried when there was about an hour left that they were like, knowing that there's a sequel, that they were not going to solve this and deliberately leave it as like a cliffhanger for the next book.
No.
Because I've been thinking about Spider-Verse lately, but I was like, I'm going to be so mad if that's what happens.
This is what happens when you only watch movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean that movie that came out 6 years ago or whatever?
Yeah.
You only got half of
But
it?
yeah, please go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So it picks up a couple months later. So it follows her, and we actually. So part of my question a minute ago was intentionally misleading because you do get another one of the Atticus Punt novels in this book, in the second book.
Cool.
Now the setup for it is obviously completely different. It's about a murder that took a real world murder that took place 8 years ago, and somebody who's close to that murder discovers that murder was not done by the person who was convicted for that murder and has been in jail for 8 years, or prison for 8 years. And so they reach out to Susan to look into it because they found out that it was through the novel, it was because they read the novel that all the clues were there, because Alan Conway actually, as we learned in this book, he steals ideas, he steals people's story, all these things. So this story is a contrived version, and kind of an extrapolated version of a real world thing that happened, and he knew who did the murder, and he left the clues in the novel. And so then Susan has to go back to this novel. So it is the second one is even more meta, more meta. What?
Sorry, I was saying the title, Moonflower Murders.
Yes, the Moonflower Murders. So the Moonflower is a hotel, and it's so good. It's so good. I think the second one.
Did you like it better than the? Oh,
I think the second one is better because you know, right? Like you know, and Susan actually becomes a bit more of an actual detective. She flies out. She flies to wherever it takes place. She's in Greece because that's where she's living, and she flies, I guess, back to London to do this investigation. And it's very interesting to me that they decided to do the book inside of a book again. But that's a pretty good way to come about it. It is very ethically questionable that he knew that an innocent person went to jail for this murder and wrote clues, cryptic clues for it in a book. But this book definitely doubles down on the fact that Alan Conway is just an asshole. Yeah, there's nothing redeeming about him. Yeah,
I just looked it up. There are apparently 3 books that have Atticus Punt book inside them.
Yeah, the third one. I was gonna say I'm sure the next one is going to be another story.
Remind me real quick, when they were talking about the number of books Atticus Punt wrote or intended to write in his career, was it 9 or was it 7?
9.
It was 9.
I was so disappointed it wasn't 7. Was the 7 imagery? Because that's the thing from Magpie, from 7.
I kept waiting for that number to come back.
Wait,
I kept waiting for the Magpies to come back. No, they never came back on it.
I was waiting for more number 7 stuff because of the whole not riddle, but poem, whatever it is. And I was waiting for that. And it just, the only way it kind of came up was that everybody was a bird name. And then I don't know.
Well-
but again, I'm also an idiot, so maybe like there was tons of examples of it, but not for this guy.
I mean, we
Yeah.
know Magnus Pie. That's where the story got.
Yeah.
Didn't put it together.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
took me until yesterday at like 8 p.m. to figure that one out.
I did not get
Leave
any
us
of the
alone.
anagrams until they explicitly spelled them out.
Yeah.
That's something that like
I
my brain
can't
does not
read.
see. Like,
Yeah.
Kolb, you
Those
got
se-
you got that though, right?
Like Magpie.
Was the
Yes, but I
Magpie-
didn't.
Okay.
I didn't get any of the bird names or the continuity, like the theming for the names in the different books, until it was specifically called out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just
I
along
picked
for
up
the
on the
ride. I'm just,
birds
like,
pretty
happy to
soon.
just read the book.
Me too. I'm along for the ride completely.
Yeah.
I guess
Those
I'm
sequels
the only-
sound interesting, but I'm starting to think that Horowitz isn't the smartest person because he could have written twice as many books if he just split them out. Like, what are you doing, bud?
I will say though, I thought that the murder within a murder was like a really cool idea. Like, I thought that
It's
was
a
really
it's
interesting.
definitely a break of the traditional trope for sure. I thought about that not in that same way, not from the capitalistic approach, but in the story approach of how cool would it have been if he had written these 9 books or these 8 books, whatever, under a pen name, and then release
then?
these books in response to these books.
In
How
conversation
much
with
cooler
them.
would that have been? Right?
Yeah.
Because then there would have
That
been.
is cool,
it
but
would've-
that requires like years of
And
planning
for them to
and
be
like those.
successful, like they
Yeah,
have
They
to
would've
had
be
to be-
successful for that to then
Yeah.
be a payoff. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, the
would've
first
been
one just
sick
gets panned
if,
as an
like,
Agatha
life
Christie
wasn't,
wannabe.
yeah.
I
I
just
am-
think that would have been so fun.
I am interested though to. So initially, when I finished this book, I mean, I did like it. I didn't immediately buy the next one. That's the best way I know how to say it. It's not to say I'm opposed to it. It's just that for whatever reason, it wasn't enough that I needed to start the next book. What Kolb said earlier, like that's kind of stuck with me a bit. This idea of writing an author who's then writing a book. And it makes me want to read the second book just to pay attention to how different their voices are. Because I think if their voices and ideas carry differently enough through the book, I would find that really that feels like the price of admission, or worth the price of admission.
That was part of the reason that I did pick up the next book so quickly. It wasn't because this was my absolute favorite read. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was fun. The twists were fun. I actually ultimately didn't like the reveal of the son being the murderer and him kind of going crazy.
Well, you never show the monster, but anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true. But that being said, even though it wasn't my favorite, I wanted to see how because it was so interesting to me and how it was written was so interesting. I wanted to see how they continued this, or if it was going to be a
the
complete
format, how much of it continues.
yeah, if it was going to be a complete
Yeah.
deviation, because we knew going into, or I talked about it in session 0 that we knew that it ended up being a trilogy, or at least 3 current books. Or existing books, and that it was an anthology, so that they all could live kind of encapsulated into it. And this, you could read the second book and not have read the first book. You would be left out of a few things, but they do a good job of kind of recapping the important elements of it. So it is very similar to watching like an American Horror Story or something like that. That's an anthology where each season is kind of packaged into its own thing. But that was part of why I picked it up, Patrick, was to see if they continued it. And I do think it got better in book 2 because it became even more kind of enmeshed. You could get away from the murder of the author of the book, which I think made it a little bit trickier. And you're just dealing with it's not a cold case, but reopening a case that has been questionable, like as to why things happen the way they happen, and then being able to tie it back to this other book, I thought was a cleaner approach. But without giving anything away, as she becomes the detective, like a true detective, going into these places and doing a real investigation. Yeah.
Seen that one too.
Books are a flat circle.
Yes. She let's just say she is more
We
threatening.
don't have to say anything.
Yeah. I'm
if
just saying
it's a
she becomes
spoiler.
more of a threat, and so therefore it becomes a lot more. There's a lot more at stake than what there was in the first book for this. So
Gotcha.
it changes things.
Is she better at solving mysteries than Ewan McGregor in Eye of the Beholder?
Oh my gosh! Can we just?
I can't.
That's a nice
still
little
can't wait to
tease.
talk about it. Okay. Anyway.
That's a nice little tease.
So, any more questions on your side, Andrew?
Oh, I literally have 40 questions to choose from, but we don't have to. We can go
to.
to general discussion. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I do want to call out, and I know no one asked, but I enjoyed the book. And I think one of the things I enjoyed about the structure or format is with most murder mysteries, you usually get like one payoff, like you get one big exciting like chapter or a couple pages of here you go. But with the structure of the book, and even hinting at, because I think they talk about one of the other in the series and briefly talk about the one with the high school or the school play, where you get these little hits of solving the crime along the way that I feel like there's at least three, maybe there's four, but at least three solid beats of parlor room conversation or reveal that I was hoping that they would keep the book within a book format into the sequels, because I think that lets itself be more than its predecessors going forward. So
I mean,
I'm
we
excited
got
to
at
hear that.
least 4 books. Now, one of them didn't have the solve because one of them was just him.
That book.
Yeah, ripping
the
family
slide.
apart. That I'll be honest, I was laughing out loud the whole time. I thought that section
Which
what
part?
he wrote was hilarious. His
His
like
Excerpt from the
non-mystery-
slide.
his non-mystery book that he
His first
wanted
book
to
that he-
publish and they wouldn't publish.
I couldn't read it. I
Shrek.
honestly just
Because it was just trash.
skipped.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I was laughing the whole time. I loved it. I would have read absolutely 10 hours of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did get at least 3 solves. You're right, because we got obviously the 2 primary books in the classroom.
But then also the younger or the older brother.
Oh,
Oh,
true.
right,
Yeah.
I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even
point.
know we were trying to solve that because everyone thought that he just drowned, and then we come to
Like, yeah, it was
realize,
just an accident.
it was It's kind of
Yeah.
the reverse of
Yeah,
what happened
absolutely.
with his mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one wasn't as cathartic because we weren't looking for justice for that one. It was just,
still very
kind of set up
interesting,
as a
though. Yeah.
tragedy. But yeah, there was
See,
something
I
that
was looking
was
f- I-
fishy about it.
Yeah. Because it was in
Is
the
that a
lake. That's where
water
fish
pun?
are. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sure.
Wow, that's
I
disrespectful.
was being
Sure.
coy about the pond.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now you want it too much.
It's sorry. I felt it. That was thirsty. I did it again.
Dang it.
No, it was-
This is
it was-
this is when the rim shot would have been great, and I can't find it on the
Yeah.
soundboard.
No, it's really like the more we
Got it.
talk. There we go.
The fact that it was so
Well,
late was even
We'll,
better.
we'll,
Yeah.
dub it in in post.
The fact that there were, I think, literally 5 books in this book, all written in different points of view and different styles of prose, is like incredibly, it's just impressive. And what's sad is that I really liked Conway's prose the best out of everyone else's. I really loved the way that those sections were written, more so than anything. But yeah, that section, the slide, was impressive in a way that, like when you find someone in a movie and you know that they're a really good singer, but the scene calls for them to be a very bad singer or a very mediocre singer, and they're still able to do that. Like, that's almost more impressive than writing a good book, is writing a really bad book.
Well,
That's
but-
bad enough to publish
I thought it
as
was
a bad
impressive.
book.
Yeah, that the 2 main sections had distinctly different writing styles.
Yeah.
Well, so we spend the first half of the book in one book just to immediately get told, hey, all that stuff is trash that I don't like writing, and for some reason people keep buying it. But this is what we just spent half a book reading. Like, what is that kind of saying to your reader to take this moment to be like, you're an idiot for liking this?
Oh yeah. I don't think it speaks to the quality of the writing, but I do think it speaks to the audacity of the author. because it felt demeaning to me that he would be so like over the top resentful for this thing that I picked up because I like the genre, and he is so belittling of those who like the genre. Like we picked it up. So like there was that was
It's like
immediately,
Pluribus.
yeah, it literally put me off, or immediately put me off to.
So you had a very strong reaction to it.
Yeah, I didn't love that. I didn't love that at all.
And were you reacting to the framing of that, or to Conway's like? Were you reacting to the character, or to Horowitz writing that character?
No, to the character. Like I said,
Yeah.
he did such a good job of immersing me in it. I think I forgot about Anthony Horowitz. I forgot there
Right.
was an author who was responsible for all of it.
Right.
I fully gave all the credit to Conway, and to the point where that I wanted to bring up that did any characters to you guys grip your heart to a point where you were kind of entangled with emotion with them? Because I was that way with Atticus. Like I didn't want him to die. Him being sick, him having this terminal illness and having this like he only had months potentially left to live, like that whole thing. That I didn't love that. That made me sad because he was my favorite character for sure. Did you guys have that?
What's funny is I had that thought, but I was thinking, I know there's more books from Horowitz, so like maybe he's not sick. Like that's
Maybe
what was
they
going
find-
through
yeah.
my head. I won't say that it was like an entanglement, but I do remember when I heard Susan at the beginning, I genuinely thought that it was. I did not realize Susan was part of the book at first. I thought what she was saying was a bit overblown to say about a book, saying it changed her life. But I thought it really was like a note from the editor.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah.
Didn't read the back of the
No.
book.
You know what's funny is
I didn't read any. I saw
We
the
did a
title.
session 0 where we, I think, explicitly said this.
I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening. I just jumped in.
what's funny about it is
I've read books that do that.
I read
No, it's
I
just
read a
funny.
letter
Or listen
yeah,
I should say listen to books
This
that
is
do that
funny.
because I don't have any chapter markers.
I didn't think about that when I first read the Susan when I first read the note from the editor. I wasn't thinking about the fact that this was a character being. I didn't even think about that again. Like that never came back to mind when I got to the second part of the book. In my head, it was just, oh, this is not setting anything up, but it is setting.
You
things
didn't
up.
realize
It's
that was
early.
the same person?
I never thought about it again because I thought it was
Yeah.
just a note from the editor. So like,
Yeah.
I didn't give it another thought, and I should have because
I
it's-
just am glad to know that you and I both thought it was a real note from the editor.
It's really funny.
Well, let me say this. Once I read the content, I knew it wasn't. I knew that it was talking about the book, but I'd never put back together that
I just
that
thought they were a
note from the
bad
editor.
editor. I was reading it thinking like, man, just chill out. I'm already reading the book. Calm down.
Yeah, I already own
Can you
this
imagine being
book.
the real editor of this book, reading a note from the editor in the fictional world? Like, I think it's...
yeah.
It must
That's
have been
very
an
funny.
I never got
interesting
a
Very
note
meta.
approach.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
that's-
one of those things that I enjoy where like in the DCC series when they'll have these comments about what they're getting the voice actor to do, but then obviously the voice actor is voice acting the thing that they're being told to do, and it's I do love those little meta moments.
Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing is meta. All right, so if we want to just kind of round the bases on this, will any of you guys pick up the next book? It doesn't sound like Lauren's super interested in it.
I would. Yeah, I mean, as much as I know that I think if you're listening to this, I probably sound like I'm a little mild on the book, but I would absolutely listen to another one.
I believe the
it's
children
also,
call that being mid.
It's also a very good
One
length.
less later.
Like if this was a 25-hour book, no, I would not pick up another one. But it's a nice audio time. I don't. If y'all read, then I don't know what the page count is. But like, it's
So
enough
that's
where
hard.
I
It's
can
about,
commit
it's about
to it.
450 pages.
That's a tough question though, because they number each book differently.
Separately.
That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
So I got up to like page 215 and I was like, okay, cool. And then it's like page 7 and I was like, wait, what? and I
You've
could
just
not.
undone all my mental progress.
Yeah, I could not figure out how much of this damn thing I had left to read.
You know, that's another thing. That's the second book of our 2-book series so far that does not follow traditional book page numbering.
I know, yeah, because we
with
kept
our
restarting.
Cavalier and
with
Clay.
Cavalier.
Every new section had its own new start of number of chapters.
Well, for
was that
chapter
true?
numbering, but not
Chapter
page
numbers,
but for
yeah.
chapter
Yeah,
Yeah.
chapter numbers, not page numbers. Okay, yeah.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
I
Yeah,
don't
sorry,
think
not
that's
page
true.
numbers. But I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, it's just it broke. It
There's like
broke
5
traditional.
chapter 1s.
Yes,
broke
yes, that's
traditional
true. Yes,
book
each section.
layouts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So I guess we
That's
have a
why I
theme
got
now.
confused when I flipped to the end. I'm like, oh, there's 20 chapters.
That
we got
explains
this.
why Kreider
No.
was like, I'll be done in a week. And I asked him the next day.
Yeah.
And he's like, it'll be 2 weeks.
I was like, oh,
I'm on page 7 again.
the last page is 244. This is easy. These must be really thick pages.
It's just really nice thick stock.
It's like
That's-
slices of bologna. I don't know why
I-
bologna. No, I would 100% because of the size of it. I do love murder mysteries. And it, in both cases, like scratches the itch. So yeah, I would absolutely pick up the next one.
Kolb, you said yes too.
Yeah, and for the same reason, like I think what we've been talking about tonight, it's a good deconstruction of the genre. It feels like a contemporary version of the classics that inspired it. So, as someone who, like I said, has read and will continue to read a lot of Agatha Christie mysteries, it feels like, oh, this is the modern evolution of it, because it can't just be the same as that; those all already exist. So yeah, I'm excited to read this, or to recommend this and read the next ones. Yeah.
And I think you kind of answered this question in what you just said, but I have been wanting to ask you this question since we were doing this. What made you pick up this book in the first place? Had you seen it? Had it been recommended to you? Like
Oh, yeah. A friend of
what
mine
was the trigger?
knew that I was reading a lot of, or had found and collected a number of Christie novels.
Okay.
And she had recently read it as someone who does a lot of reading for work, and said this was a book that got her back
Is she
into
an editor?
reading for leisure.
Oh,
No,
that's really
she's
great.
a lawyer. So she said this
Yeah.
what really got me back into reading for just pure enjoyment. And
That's
so that was how I found it, because I don't tend to read a lot of contemporary mysteries, because I still have a huge stack of the classics. So
Yeah.
That's how I found it.
Okay, I think we've covered just about everything. We don't need to.
Oh, do you
belabor
not care
this.
if I'll read it?
I thought you said you would. I thought you already said you would.
No,
Change his mind.
I don't
I
think
thought
I
you.
will.
I
to be
thought you
honest.
nodded along and said that you would. Okay, you don't. want
Lauren
to
was
read
a definite no. And then
I will. I feel like I will probably like hearing that you liked the second book so much. At least like read a summary of the other 2 books, but I don't know if I liked it enough. To
Wow. So
read the
somehow Lauren will read more, and Kreider
is a no.
absolutely not.
I thought you
I
said
don't-
that you would, and it was because of the page length, so that's why we had moved past that. But yeah,
No,
give your answer.
I don't know if I will. I mean, I'd like add it to the very lengthy Google Note that I have of titles of books to, check out. But I think, I don't know, there's a couple of other murder mystery series that I like better that I think I will.
Call them
that
out,
I'm
please. I'm
Yeah,
a
say
little
them.
That's the
behind.
final. That's the final question. So yeah, we just lead into that final area for us.
Well, so I love the Thursday Murder Club books. I think they're wonderful and they're just
So it's
so
gonna
much
be
fun.
weird right now for me to tell you I read the first one and opted not to read anymore.
You didn't
That
read the other
doesn't
ones?
surprise me at all, Patrick. That doesn't-
Oh, I've
Kinda
read all.
boring.
I've read.
It's a bunch of
I've
old
read all
people.
of
What do
them.
I
It's-
care?
I read all. I could not get enough of those books. They're so endearing. They're so.
I
lovely.
love the characters so much. So but I haven't read We Solve Murders, which is Richard Osman's
Which
like,
is also Richard Osman's
tangent
diff-
of
Yeah.
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 But
I have not
also
read
I
that.
love
I think I own that, but I have not read it. I think I bought the
yeah
audiobook of that.
I have it. My wife read it. She didn't love it as much, but I also
Didn't
love
have
the
as good of reviews.
No, the Benjamin Stevens Everyone series. Everyone in my family has killed someone. Everyone on this train is a suspect, and everyone in this bank is a thief or something like that. I forget. Oh, and there's a smaller novella in there. Everyone this Christmas is a killer or something like that. They are without a doubt my favorite murder mysteries, and
sounds
just
like
every
great
time
titles.
he pumps out a book, I will pick it up immediately on day one and fight with my wife over who gets to read it first.
Yeah, marital arguments
That's-
are always the best kind
That's
of
the reason you just became.
Do you
a
have like
couple.
2 bookmarks in the book and
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
like when you're not
Doing
reading
her-
it, she can or whatever?
Who's the author of those? I'm gonna look it up.
Benjamin Stevenson. He's an Australian author, and he's that series is wonderful. It's also about it's about a writer who writes books about murder mysteries. So he's very into like the tropes and the like usual
Pairs with this
suspects
very
and
nicely.
and he writes a lot about fair play mysteries and making sure but
So
he
this
gets
wasn't
very
new to you.
not so much, but that's kind of the only ones that I've read in this vein. But he gets very metatextual in that, like in the first one, he's like, okay, for those of you that like have no patience, I will tell you that the murders occur on page 57, 214, 278, and 312.
That's hilarious.
And so like,
He
but
writes
then
his
he'll
own
play
Cliff
with
Notes?
you. But he'll play with you then because like the person that you think like died on that page, or it's like a metaphorical death, or it's he's just like the first book is genius in that way, and it is so
Genius.
much fun to read.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Andrew, which ones would you say are your favorite Kolb cases?
Okay, my favorite Kolb cases are, I know I was pulling out specifically from.
Where's the
Magpie,
rib shot?
Does he get 1 point of inspiration for that?
Inspiration.
Yes, absolutely. If we're in Wonderland,
Can carry
absolutely.
it in. Yeah.
So
If we're in
I was-
Wonderland, don't pull that shit in Wonder
No, Oz
in
and
Oz.
Neverland, no, but Wonderland you get puns. So I will recommend 2. I think based on assuming everyone has read Magpie Murders, I will recommend 2. I will suggest Appointment with Death, which is by Agatha Christie, and I would say that one is if you enjoyed following a murder mystery surrounded by a victim that you don't really connect with, because I think the victim in that is just a horrible person, but still it's an engaging read.
But murder should still be investigated, even if the person was
Even if the person is
Yes.
a jerk.
And then I think the second one I'll recommend, it's gone under 2 titles. So it's either you might find it also by Agatha Christie. It's called Taken at the Flood, or There Is a Tide. And that one I will recommend. That was actually the first one I ever read, and was spoiled because much like this, there are multiple reveals throughout the book. And so you get that kind of hit of reward more than admittedly in some of her other books, because it usually just has one.
Why does
one
it have 2
twist.
titles?
So, I think just like a re-release. Like I don't know why, if it just
The British
confusing.
version, the American
Yeah,
version,
like
Live, Die,
something like that.
Repeat.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's just
Yes,
like live, die,
yeah.
repeat. Yeah.
All you
Yeah.
need is kill.
Yeah. So those would be the 2, or two,
Okay.
2.5. Yeah.
Lauren.
I have no murder mystery books.
This is
to
the first
recommend.
one she
Shows
read.
or
Yeah.
You know, I'm not-
film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
I would
isn't-
say
this isn't
my
restricted to
favorite murder
mystery.
mystery
Like,
show that I is definitely Poker Face, which is on Peacock.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
Bullshit.
Don't think that there's going to be any more seasons of it, but there are 2 really, really, really excellent seasons available. It stars Natasha Lyonne. She is like a human lie detector and goes all over the country solving different murders. Like each episode is very much like it's this one, it's one of those kind of shows. And I should say there's like an amazing guest cast in every single episode. The like cameos are just as fun as the murder. So great show.
What do you think of the pitch to recast Peter Dinklage as is it Charlie? Is that right?
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
know why it needs to be Charlie. I kind of wish they would just make up a new character for him. But I am intrigued by this combination of people. So, like, please make this show. I'll watch it for sure.
There's an actual pitch to do that, to have Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
come in
because
and
Natasha
replace-
Lyonne got weird.
What do you mean? Like
I think-
politically, like in the world.
I think she went all in on AI
Yeah,
film
you know-
and television.
Yeah.
And I think there's maybe discourage from what I've read between her and Ryan Johnson. Not to get too gossip column-y, but I think that
Yeah.
was the idea. So
Cool. That's why we brought you here to bring the.
All right.
To bring the.
Yeah,
into
I
more
think it's
cold
like a
cases.
bummer because I think she was a really great like pick for that type of character, like that as an actress. But she doesn't want to do it anymore. You can't like Peter Dinklage is a really fun idea for a replacement.
Yeah, do the mash casting of like you when someone leaves, you find the exact opposite to bring someone in. So I think
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage would be a great fit. We all know
I
Mash,
think
right?
that could be very cool. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was
love
thinking of
MASH.
something else and I
Love
changed my
MASH.
mind that I didn't want to talk about it. So that's
okay.
why I like paused.
I was
I'll
I
say
was
it
just
after
thinking
we're
of the
done recording.
murder mystery episode of MASH, where
Oh.
Hawkeye. Well, it's not a murder. They steal something, I think, and then Hawkeye
Someone's
figures it out.
life.
But there's a whole parlor room
Yeah.
scene in the mess hall. Such a good episode. I love that show.
Patrick, what would you recommend?
Nothing. Here's the thing. I
Read Dungeon Crawler Carl. That's his favorite. So much that he just referred to it earlier as DCC. Like, you don't even have to ask.
I
The
don't.
DC comic universe.
I need to start calling it Dungeon Crawler Dave. I need to revert back to that.
That's my favorite.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't consumed. So I've never read any Agatha Christie books. So just listening to this right now, that's the next thing I'll do is read Agatha Christie.
Can I pause you for 1 second and say, I know that Kreider started by talking about other murder. The question was, what books would you recommend next for each other? That was what the question was leading to.
I misunderstood.
He mentioned murder mysteries, and so I was just kind of riding that train.
Oh, I felt like Murder Mysteries was the way to take the train, though. And
Yeah, it was great.
I'm not going to recommend anything.
Great. Okay,
So
cool.
You derailed it for
listen,
nothing,
I'm not
Andrew.
recommending Thursday Murder Club. I can tell you that.
I can't believe you had such a visceral, negative response.
I
to that.
can.
I was just
What do you
bored.
have-
I was just bored. And then when I was watching it, I was
You
thinking,
didn't
know
love
what?
the sassy old lady?
But I was like, this is going to play great as a TV show. And Netflix
Oh,
ruined it.
They
on top of
botched
I was
that.
gonna
it.
ask what you thought of the show.
Yeah,
Oh.
they fumbled that
The
pretty
show,
good.
no.
the show was bad.
Terrible.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Is it
reading
one
the
with
book
Pierce
thinking,
Brosnan and Helen Mirren in that?
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
just
Ben
thinking, I just
Kingsley.
got to get to the show. I just got to get to the show. And then the show was garbage.
What's bad
The show
about
was
it?
the show was bad. They deviated from the book
Yeah.
in some pretty significant
Tonally,
ways.
it just didn't feel.
And
The
to-
book
and the
felt
tone was-
much better tonally. Much
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
They put
For a
the
book you
wrong
hated,
emphasis
that's
on the
pretty
wrong
interesting
syllable.
comment.
Yeah.
But what
But I hate this more. An enemy of my enemy.
what I should be clear on is I do think it is a good murder mystery, in terms of, I think it's fun and interesting and all those things. It's just, if you've ever consumed something that's just not the time in your life to consume it,
It
just
wasn't for
doesn't.
you.
It just doesn't mesh with what
His
else is
grandmother
going
had
on
just
in your
killed
world.
somebody. So
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah, you know what? Read the room.
Yeah. So for what
Not the
I
book.
read it at a bad time, but I should be clear. I think it's a good book, but it's kind of like Buffalo Hunter x Hunter. I didn't have a great experience, and I think it's probably a really awesome book, but
It is
I didn't have a
critically
great
acclaimed,
experience.
and
Yeah.
we didn't have a great, we could appreciate.
You don't have to
that's a-
like everything that everyone
that's
else
a
likes.
similar.
It's
that's
okay
true.
to have your own
It's
opinion.
a similar situation because that book is a book about a guy who's writing in from two different perspectives, and it's journaling from two different perspectives. So it's even first person from that. Which
so
was a
that's kind
huge-
of similar to what we're talking about here, where you have an
Right.
author writing an author.
Right.
You have someone writing a book who's writing someone else who's writing their
their memoir.
diary.
Yeah.
And it is very interesting. You kind of have three different points of view in the book and
Yeah,
three different
three
writing
literal
styles
voices,
in the book.
Yeah.
And it is really, it's not just interesting there's three, but it's interesting how wildly different they are, how wildly different the vocabulary is and stuff like that. It's
Oh yeah, totally different vernacular, totally different everything. Everything is just.
but it makes it tough to get through. The first third of
It's
the book
dense.
is a slog.
It's,
and then it's so impressive by the time you get to the end. But
I'm just gonna look to see how many pages it is. It's a thick boy. I mean, it's
yeah,
a chunky.
I mean,
it's a chunky
is the ending good enough that it sasaves the rest of it? 'Cause,
No,
like,
the ending is
sometimes-
the worst part of the book.
Sorry.
The ending is the worst part of
I
the
wasn't
book.
even thinking about the
felt like
ending,
you
but
said
the
it in a
ending is
good way.
ridiculous. It should have ended genuinely like 5% earlier.
I just
than it
totally
did.
misunderstood what you said then. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
if the
sorry,
book had,
are
but it's
you recommending this book? Does anyone?
I'm
recommend
going to
this book?
recommend one.
I think no.
I was just saying that this is an example of a book that's impressive. I think is a good book, but I
But you
don't
didn't care
recommend.
for it,
And
yeah.
So what someone asked me today what I would recommend because they just finished a book series. I loved Between Two Fires so deeply, and I need more
still
people
wanna
to
read that,
talk
yeah.
about that book with. It has a mystery component, but I cannot say enough about how much. Yeah, I got to the. Oh, it's very similar cover. I got to the end of this book, and I immediately went back through the last 20% again because it was just so. Oh,
Can
I
you,
loved it
book
so
could
looks
you
much.
really
elevator
cool,
pitch
yeah.
it? I don't know anything about it.
It's set in like a medieval times, around the time when
The
like
year is 1348.
when plague is ravaging like all of these communities, and there's a group of it's in essence like ex-military. They were people that used to work for the government, and it's like a band of them.
They're
and
knights.
they come
Yep,
up
former
and
knights.
so basically, as these villages have plague go through them, just everyone will die. So you'll find these abandoned villages, and these knights come across in a village that has a girl in it, and everyone else is like dead or almost dead. And the girl feels very strongly that she needs to go to this. My understanding is that she needs to go to this place, and she needs this, and this person is the one that's going to take her. And
Yes.
like God told her, and you can't say no to it.
Because
And
she's been orphaned, and this person will take her in. And
yeah, and it's this like it's very steeped in like religious symbolism. And is she
it's
some
not
spiritual
steeped.
person
It's
or
full-
not?
It
Some
is fully that. Yeah.
Have you read the whole book, by the way, Andrew, or you're just?
No, I've read.
I
the
don't.
whole-
Oh, I
I've read
didn't.
the
I didn't remember. I'm sorry, I didn't remember.
Yeah.
So, but it's very like, is she this like religious thing?
Magic,
Is she
yeah.
not? Is what we're seeing real? Is it not? Is this a fever dream, like an
That-
actual like fever dream, or is it really?
because it
happening?
lives in the spiritual realm, heavily in the spirit, like with demons who demons of lust and demons of gluttony and demons like but they take on these real they get personified, and you have to determine, is this metaphor, is this real, is this really happening to these people on this pilgrimage? And she's kind of the voice of the light side, right? Like she's bringing this always, like she's giving mercy, she's doing all these things. That's the elevator pitch, and it's beautiful.
It was like I was gripped the whole time. Like
It's beautiful.
I love
it's gruesome. I mean, it deals a lot with.
it has some imagery. It has.
There's-
I didn't
There's
know how
probably
to
some
say
trigger
it.
warnings for this book for sure.
Oh yeah, like one part of me doesn't want to give any of it away because, like, that's part of the fun. But at the
Yeah.
same time, there's some crazy, like, some intense imagery in this book. So
And to be clear, there is some intense imagery in Buffalo Hunter as well. There's like
there's
sodomy
one scene
and
specific that's like really strong.
yeah. So that none of these are for the faint of heart, I guess. But this is
is
a
murder
beautiful
books.
book. This book is it's very different, and it feels of the time, even though it's relatively new. I think it was written within the last 10
Amazon
years.
has been trying to get me to read that book for like 2 years. It's like always recommended to me.
It's a great. I mean, I absolutely. Yeah,
But it's hard to recommend to just an average reader though, because it's heavy. Like it deals with heavy stuff, and it's very artistic. Oh, 2012 was when this book was written, so a little over 10 years. But okay, I was actually on the when it comes to murder books, I was actually going to recommend the Thursday Murder Club because it's so fun and I love it's endearing and it's clever, but it's not so clever that it kind of writes you out of it, right? Like anyone, it's very accessible. Unless you just hate the elderly, which apparently Patrick, big anti-elderly guy. And then
Very ageist.
I am
Midsommar had
currently-
it right. Push him off a cliff.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that's dark. That's Aster, right?
Yeah, it's Ari.
Yeah.
Ari Aster.
Ari Aster, yeah.
Yeah, when he was
It's
good.
Ed. It's Ed Asner, right? But the book that I'm reading right now, the book series that I started, is a book by Brandon Sanderson called Mistborn, which has been around
Yeah.
for a minute, and it has already been picked up for an Apple TV show, and it's, I think, the first of its kind contract, because Brandon Sanderson has full creative rights to it, and that does not happen.
That's wild.
Like full
Wow.
full sign off is Brandon Sanderson, and he is So I'm intrigued. I was
that's
intrigued by all
crazy.
that. A couple of people had recommended it to me, and I said basically, if you read Dungeon Crawler Carl, I'll read Mistborn, and I picked it up. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the first book. It's like there's an
There's
original
like a
trilogy.
bunch of them, aren't there?
There's an original trilogy, and then there's a couple of other trilogies that are in the universe but take place at different time frames. There's a lot.
Cool.
I'm only committing to the original trilogy because apparently I have to read like 17 books before this next Sarah J. Maas book comes out because it's intertwining 2 different series, and I'm pissed about. I have to now go read all of the Throne of Glass series. I've been
that's
reading
so
ACOTAR.
funny.
I'm on that
That's
one.
so funny.
You're on Throne of
I-
Glass right now?
Hated that first book
I'm on
so
that,
much
yes.
that I've
The
never read
second-
anything past that.
I was really frustrated because I found the first book to not be horny enough, and then I later
It's
found
not
out
at
that it
all horny. That was the biggest. That was one of my biggest complaints. It's also
Yes.
just
That
Beauty
is-
and the Beast.
wait,
but
was that
yeah,
for
I
real?
hated
Was
that.
That was
for real,
Patrick's
Cole?
complaint.
Wait. Everyone
They
pause.
kissed
Was
twice.
that-
That's not horny.
Wait.
I found out that it was written or pitched as a YA novel, and then it was like well received
Like-
and really blossomed into this like more like mature fiction, and that's why the later ones apparently really ramp up. So I was talking to my friend who's loaned me the second book now, so I read the first one, had my I had my qualms, and then she gave me the second one with that warning. So,
I
sorry,
hate it.
Sail
You're
what
talking
you wanna
about Throne
say.
of Glass or ACOTAR?
I'm talking about
ACOTAR.
ACOTAR. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the series I've read every book of. With
Oh.
the new book that's coming out in I think September, maybe it's October, that they just released like the cover of and everything. Apparently, you also have to have read the Throne of Glass series because there's a
No,
blend
I'm
between
out.
them, and there's
I'm sure it'll be
7 books
fine.
for Throne of Glass. You've got to read 7 books, and I don't remember everything that happened in ACOTAR. I read that a year and a half ago, so now I gotta have to read the full series and
Why
7
bother?
more books.
Just go for the new one.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna add what Kolb said. I'm gonna add what Kolb said to my soundboard over here.
That book wasn't horny enough for me.
Patrick, that was your same complaint about Thursday Murder Club, though, right?
Yeah, this book was not horny enough.
Not horny.
I got 3 chapters in and was like, all right.
Oh, so you go the other way on the elderly. I see. All right, I'm picking up what you're
You
laying
know what's
down now.
actually this is
He likes them too much.
We'll talk about it later.
All right.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we're not live. All right, I think we'll
can't
we'll
imagine what
cap
that
it
is.
there. Does anyone have
I'll
any?
tell you real quick. I just recently we'll tease this for Mof1 since we're gonna
Okay.
close this. We're gonna be doing 21 and Up, a new podcast that's geared towards films that have received a cinema score F. So there's 21 films that are in the online database
In
since
the
they've been
canon.
keeping track online. And the first of those films is 1999 Ewan McGregor film Eye of the Beholder. So we just all finished that this week. And one of the conversations that the person I watched it with, Spencer, that we had coming out of that movie is the way that older people are treated in film at that time versus now. So older people at that time were very very mild, neutral. I don't even notice those people type thing. Whereas now older people in film tend to be treated as very horny and very over the top, like in media and stuff like that. Like they're the ones that are very aggressive. And so we were just talking about how things have evolved over the last however many years. But
That's an interesting place for your conversation to go.
Yeah, your
given
final
what that-
thoughts. Yeah.
What that film is. No, not
we
that.
well,
not
no, it just
yeah.
that's what I was thinking in my head. I was just connecting that. That's not my pitch to watch the movie or to listen to the
No.
show, the podcast.
No.
It just so
I'm
happens we talked about that. So
That's
Right.
it's interesting to me that your guys' conversation even went to that, given that film that you guys were talking about.
well, one of the other things we talked about that I thought that earlier when y'all were talking was there's a moment in the movie where there's this a center place that people sit around and they communicate. It's like the handlers
It's like a
communicate
hub. Yeah, it's like
to
a
their agents in the field.
communication hub.
You know, but
it's basically like an old style switchboard,
Yeah.
but it's futuristic and it's in a round.
and it's
table.
like video screens that you connect to. But the thing is that one of those screens is playing a movie at one point. And so the person I was watching with said, if we knew what movie that was, we would know how this one's going to end. You know, basically there's that filmmaker nod of they'll throw in something. And
The
if you
meta.
have the knowledge, and so there were a couple points where in this book that we just read, where it would reference other mystery novels, and then my immediate thought was, man, if I had read that, then maybe I would have a hint for what is about to take place. But
Yeah.
because I didn't read it, I don't have that hint. So
Like if you knew what the solve was for Murder on the Orient Express, that's a nod to what this is going to be.
which is kind
Yeah.
of the whole third Ryan Johnson
Right.
Knives Out is all about that concept, but the idea that if you mention it, then like we're telling you the solve ahead of time. But but unfortunately, I didn't know, and so. But 21 and Up, we're recording the first episodes in 3 weeks. We're gonna record them in batches, and then we'll start releasing them. But if you want to watch the first one, I the Beholder, watch it with some friends, and it's a good time.
I'm reserving all conversation.
That's fine. That's all. That's
for
the
that, yeah.
most we'll talk about it until we start recording. So
Yeah. But I have my filled out cinema score card sitting right here, too.
I have mine as well.
Okay, so on that note, let's. Does anybody have a recommendation for what our next? I know this is kind of on the spot, but do you guys have any recommendations for what our next, like, public?
Why don't we put it to
Master
Kolb
One?
or Kreider? Do you? I realize Lauren raised her hand, but since we have guests, maybe we should.
I know you guys are gonna shoot it down anyway. That I
The
have an
Magician's
idea.
the book.
Well, no, Lev Grossman wrote a new book, so I want to read that.
I'll make a
I was
note.
actually.
It's called The
going
Bright
to-
Sword. It's like a King Arthur book. It actually sounds really good.
Oh, cool.
I
Yeah,
saw
no,
The
Yeah.
Magicians at Barnes and Noble the other day and thought maybe
Yeah.
I'll read this.
So I legitimately just
It's
guessed
so
it.
good. No, Lev Grossman, the guy who wrote The Magicians, wrote a new book.
You
It's called
said
The Bright
Les
Sword.
Grossman from
Lev
Tropic Thunder.
Grossman.
From Tropic
LEV.
Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise from.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Kolb, Kreider, do you guys have any recommendations? What are next? Because we've done 2 very different styles of books so far. I'd love to stay on the train of doing something new. I don't know why I keep getting on trains tonight.
I would. So
Choo choo.
when you were talking about the Akatar blending of worlds and the different timelines, I will always go to bat for the Discworld series of novels.
Those are good.
Which are
I've heard a lot
this,
of.
this big expansive world, and basically it's not a chronological series. Like some follow characters throughout, but basically it's just these books set in these worlds. So if you wanted a good one-off that gives you a good taste of what the world is like and what Terry Pratchett's writing is like, then I would suggest Small Gods as a fully self-contained story. It deals with religion, like it has his approach to that, but that's always a good one. Or if you're going to, I'll actually, do you know what? Small Gods maybe, but if you want to go to one of my favorites, then I would recommend Mort, M-O-R-T, which is still Discworld, but focuses on the personification of death and all that comes with it. One of my favorite characters.
Okay.
Oh, you got it right
Do
here,
they need to be
actually.
read in order?
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
No, there is no order.
Is that
No.
Mort?
Oh, okay, cool.
Pardon?
Was that
That's-
Mort?
That's the death. That's the death from the Discworld.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
let me see
Yeah,
it. I
he's very
looked down
funny.
to write that down. What did you?
Every time.
Right there.
Hey.
Wow.
He's always
I said
described
that
as
was
having
Patrick.
one and the same. So that would be my pitch: is to read Mort, a great book and a great series. Yeah.
And you don't have to read the rest of the series for the story. It's a self-contained story.
No. So there are some books that continue on with certain characters, but each story is completely self-contained. That you could read them out.
Yeah,
of
I was
order
gonna
and
say, like,
still
I've
have
read
them
like
all.
5 different books, but they're completely random and they
Yeah,
don't. Yeah, like
but
they
there
don't.
are
all,
there are many.
There are some
series within
characters
it.
that like appear again, but you don't need to know ahead of time that they were already in another book. It's just cool
Yeah.
when they do cross over.
And death appears in most of the books because
Yeah.
people die in most of the books. So you tend to
Spoiler.
tend to see death. Well, just happens.
I was like, read Good Omens.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It appears in Good Omens.
But I've
too.
literally read that about 12 times, so that
Okay.
doesn't count as something we've not read.
Is it because you're not good at retention?
No, because I love it so much.
You forget that you've read it. You know what? I think I've read this before.
I just love it. It's so good.
Kreider.
A book I read recently that I thoroughly enjoyed. It's part of a 2-book series. Was Hank Green's book. I know a lot of people have like pitchforks and torches out for him right now with the whole like AI thing. But
Wait,
his
Hank
book.
Green, is that the guy who
Pissing out
did.
cancer. It's overblown, the whole AI thing. But
Yeah,
anyway.
it
Yeah, I don't
really
even know
is.
what he said,
It's
but-
John Green's brother, John Green of Paper Towns.
That
He was in
and Fault in Our
Mentopolis for
Stars.
Dimension 20.
Oh, I was thinking Tom Green. I'm like,
No.
that's
Not
his
the same.
brother? The guy from Freddy
No.
got fingered?
No. But his first book, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, is really good, and there are tons of threads to pull on about society, about AI, about. I don't want to like touch on some of the other themes without giving too much away of what the book is, but there's a good mystery to it. I think the characters are really well written, and he says a lot about kind of our society or lack thereof, and the internet. And a lot of really cool things, and it's just really well written and a really propelling story that kind of moves you through it pretty fast. Monica and I listened to it on a single trip from coming home from the Outer Banks in North Carolina, so 8 hours in a car, and we spent it completely listening to this book, and we both bought the book in audio and physical form the day we got home. So
But
yeah.
it's not a fictional story, or it is a fictional story.
It's fiction. It's 100%
Okay.
fiction. Basically,
okay, so it's story driven. It's not just philosophy driven. Okay.
yeah, no, the elevator pitch is that there's a giant kind of metallic samurai sculpture that appears in New York City one day just out of nowhere, and then you find out that there's 54 of them throughout the world, and people are trying to figure out what it is, and some people think it's evil and bad, and some people think it's good, and and things evolve from there in really interesting ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had
Cool.
I have a recommendation, or at least one to throw on the pile. Now, I kind of recommended this book, so I was going to be submitting basically to Patrick because Lauren picked the first
Yeah.
one, I picked the second one. But just for the sake of throwing one that I have bought and that I want to read, it is He Who Fights with Monsters.
Cool
It
title.
It's book one, but only one has been written. You can pre-order books 2 and 3. It will be a trilogy, but only the first book has been written. It's called He Who Fights with Monsters, and it's by Travis. It's written by 2 people, but it is a lit RPG. So this was recommended to me because of my heavy investment in Dungeon Crawler Carl. But that would be a fun one to do. It seems different and fun. So it's very highly rated. And again, the next 2 books you can already pre-order them. That's kind of how it's been picked up and received. So Matt
Can you
Dinniman
expand
actually is
on? Sorry.
I was just saying, Matt Dinniman, he was asked at Comic-Con this year, what's one, other than Dungeon Crawler Carl, what's one lit RPG book that everybody should read? And he said that this is kind of the quintessential lit RPG book, and it's He Who Fights with Monsters. And he said that's his number 1 recommendation to anybody who loves Dungeon
Cool.
Crawler Carl. So that's
What does that term mean exactly? Like lit RPG was,
Role-playing
So-
game?
Literary.
literary RPG,
but
literary role-playing
it's
game.
just like a fictionalized version of a role playing game, or like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's structured like a role-playing game, like a choose-your-own-adventure, but we aren't the one choosing the adventure. We are like the godlike person watching the person play RPG.
But there's a meta like set of rules and like systems within
I
the
don't
book,
kn-
or
I don't know if it goes that deep, if there's a specific rule set, but it's because I don't think everything in this genre has been gamified the same way that like Dungeon Crawler Carl is so
Okay.
clearly
Yeah,
a
that's
lit
kinda what I
RPG.
was
I've
asking.
read 3 books in the genre, and they've all literally been like DCC level of these are your stat
Explanation of
points.
of like
rules.
leveling
Okay.
up and
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Yeah, like,
That's
I knew,
cool.
I knew
Yeah.
that you leveled up and did things, but I didn't know how deep, like if everything was an actual game like it is in Dungeon Crawler Carl. So
Like I said, maybe not all, but I've read 3, and I'm 3 for 3 right now. So it seems to be.
what are the other ones that you've read?
One of them is something large. Everyone likes large chests, maybe. think that's what it's called.
Is it
It's-
about?
I see why you picked up
You
this
want to
book.
talk about horny enough?
Listen,
They weren't
I'm not,
old enough,
I'm,
but they.
I'm not
this down.
recommending it, but chess means two things. One is the
Usually.
the character is it's following. This book was following two main characters.
That was a
One of
boob
them
joke. I got
was
it, Carter.
a mimic that would disguise itself as a chest. It would look like a loot box, and so people will go for the loot box, and then it will attack them. But then it was also about a succubus who looked like a succubus. So it's
Yeah.
both.
Okay. And what was the other book?
I don't remember. I'd have to go back to my.
Was it
my
Dinneman's
history.
other book? Was it his other one?
Nobody likes a small sword.
No, the only other Dinneman
Pairs
I've-
well with the
the
other.
only other
Yeah.
Dinneman I've read is his latest one.
I know the Operation
Bounce
Bounce
House?
House.
Operation. That's the only other one from him that I've
And
read.
I think that's
haven't-
lit.
Is that
I
any
think that's
good?
lit RPG, and I don't think it's a game.
I don't know if it is lit. Is it?
I
I don't
thought
know
that
if
it
that's the genre, but obviously it's not done the same way. So
it's you get equipment and you build things, but it's not leveled up in the same way. Maybe it's not considered lit RPG. I don't know. We're all learning something here today. Well, we've thrown out a lot of titles. We've thrown out a lot of ideas. If you're watching this now or you're watching this at some other time, and you have some ideas, drop them in the comments. Hop over into our Slack. Let us know what you would want to read. If there's a book that's been on your list for a while and you think would be fun to read together, and maybe you'd want to be involved in a roundtable discussion. Maybe you want to sit in Kreider or Kolb's or Patrick's seat. Then just let us know. Drop it in the Slack channel. Drop it in the comments. But for now, I think we're gonna get out of here. Just stay tuned to our social media. Stay tuned to our Slack for when we do announce what maybe our next book is. Patrick already kind of teased what is next for the channel. That's going to be coming your way, centered on film. But before we hop out of here, Kolb, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and they can support the stuff you're doing? Because you have some book-related stuff last I checked, yeah?
Oh, sure, yeah. So again, my name is Andrew Kolb, Kolb, like Bravo. And so my website is Kolb is Neat, and that's where you can find most of my stuff. I write picture books and illustrate picture books, but I also do a number of D&D setting books centered around literary fiction, Wonderland, Neverland, and Oz.
It's the opposite of lit RPG.
Yeah, it's the RPG.
Like
lit.
sort of, yeah, like
RPG lit,
RPG
It's
lit.
a
yeah.
lit RPG.
Yeah. Yeah.
So check those out. Yeah, thanks.
It is a literary RPG.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I guess like it all connects.
Yeah. That's it.
And what about you?
Nailed it.
Kreider Designs on Instagram. You can check out my wife and I's podcast at Married at the Movies. We're on SoundCloud, Spotify, that kind of stuff. And then the Ted Lasso podcast is called Roped Back In. And that's weekly,
yeah.
and we discuss what happens this season.
All right, and I'm at Andrew Sale with 3s instead of E's on all of the things. Lauren, where do people find you?
I am not Cool Co. And next week I'll be at Dragon Con. So if you're in Atlanta, come say hi.
And Patrick?
I'm at my house.
The way that your house, by the way, right now, your room this entire night, it looks like there's a cityscape behind you. It looks like you're on
Yeah.
the roof,
Yeah,
like
that's
on the
pretty cool.
rooftop of some really cool bar in downtown Chattanooga, and we're seeing a bridge in the back. That's what it looks like
hanging
right
out.
now.
It's like Ratatouille.
I
But
do
no,
have
you're
rats
just-
in my house.
Do they cook
we're
for
gonna
you?
We're going to get out of this episode, though, and we'll catch you next time. For now, I'm Andrew.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Kolb.
And I'm Sean.
Bye!
Adios.
Bye. You have to keep that order.
Goodbye.
See ya!